Hello, I'm Maruk Said, your microbiology guide. Let's explore in-depth micro techniques and uncover groundbreaking insight together on this educational journey into the fascinating realms of microbes.
Inside the human body, a healthy red blood cell carries oxygen efficiently. But in a patient with sickle cell anemia, that cell warps into a rigid, hooked shape, clogging vessels and causing immense pain. That catastrophic physical collapse is the result of a single microscopic error. The human genome is written in 3 billion lines of chemical code, and in genetic conditions like this, just one typo in the sequence is permanent. For decades, scientists knew exactly where these typos were located. The challenge was finding a way to reach into a living cell and rewrite a single letter without destroying the rest of the sequence. We needed a microscopic scalpel, but we didn't know how to build one.
If you have watched till here, don't forget to subscribe to Family of Science Lovers. Press the bell icon button so you are always updated.
The solution didn't come from a human engineering lab. The biological software patch was already operating inside ancient strains of bacteria. Researchers found repeating patterns in bacterial DNA. These CRISPR sequences are a memory bank of viruses. When attacked, it transcribes this memory into CRISPR RNA. This RNA teams with Cas9, scanning the invader's DNA until locking on to a PAM sequence. Once locked in, the Cas9 enzyme acts as molecular scissors. It violently cleaves both strands of the viral DNA, neutralizing the threat. Bacteria capture pieces of the very weapons used against them and turn them into a targeted defense blueprint. It is a highly efficient mechanism of adaptive immunity. Bioengineers realized they didn't have to wait for a virus. By synthesizing their own custom guide RNA, they could program Cas9 to hunt down and target any specific sequence, even inside the human genome. The development of this programmable targeting mechanism earned Emmanuelle Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna the 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, but applying this directly to human medicine posed a massive safety risk. Traditional CRISPR-Cas9 is a blunt instrument. It creates complete double-stranded breaks in the DNA. Severing both sides of the helix forces the cell to panic and hastily repair the broken ends. This frequently causes off-target effects, unintentionally introducing new mutations, deleting critical code, or scrambling large sections of the genome. Using blunt molecular scissors is effective for killing a virus, but for treating complex clinical diseases, it was far too chaotic. To safely treat patients, bioengineers had to upgrade the tool. They needed to transform the destructive scissors into a precise molecular pencil. The solution was base editing. Researchers engineered a modified Cas protein that no longer severs the entire helix. Instead, it creates a tiny single-stranded nick on just one side of the DNA. With only a gentle nick, the system can chemically convert one specific DNA letter directly into another, like swapping a C for a T, while the surrounding structure stays completely intact. That was followed by prime editing. It functions like a biological word processor, capable of executing exact insertions and complex nucleotide swaps without causing structural damage.
Download our microbiology study app made for researchers like you.
By eliminating double-strand breaks, base and prime editing solved the off-target crisis. The path was finally clear to safely rewrite human DNA inside the clinic. Today, this precise genetic engineering is actively being applied to human medicine. The FDA has now approved CRISPR gene therapies that successfully treat and functionally cure the exact inherited genetic blood disorders we looked at earlier, like sickle cell disease. Beyond inherited diseases, bioengineers are using CRISPR to take aim at cancer by editing the human immune system itself. By knocking out specific inhibitory molecules, scientists can supercharge engineered CAR T cells. This forces the engineered cells to bypass a tumor's natural resistance and aggressively destroy the cancer. A mechanism once used by bacteria to fight off simple phages is now deployed to cure humanity's most devastating biological coding errors. Looking to the future, Allele-specific CRISPR is being developed to treat monogenic diseases like cystic fibrosis and could even correct large-scale chromosomal anomalies. But this capability introduces a profound ethical controversy regarding germline editing. Altering the heritable DNA of human embryos means those modifications are passed down permanently to all future generations. International regulatory bodies have drawn a firm line. We must explicitly separate therapeutic medicine designed for sick patients from the non-medical enhancement of human biology. Humanity's ability to harness a billion-year-old bacterial war has moved gene editing into the clinic, provided we respect the power of our own source code.
All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible, most revolutionary technologies of our time, CRISPR. You know, what's so wild is that its story doesn't start in some futuristic high-tech lab. Nope, it starts in an ancient microscopic war that's been raging for billions of years between bacteria and viruses.
So let's just start with a huge question, just to set the stage. What if we could actually rewrite the code of life? I mean, the very blueprint that makes us who we are. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But believe me, it is quickly becoming our reality.
And today, we're going to follow the amazing journey of this idea. We're going to see how it went from a simple defense mechanism in bacteria all the way to a Nobel Prize-winning tool that could completely redefine medicine as we know it. It's an amazing story.
Okay, so let's get right back to the beginning, with that tiny immune system. To really get what CRISPR is all about, you first have to understand how bacteria have been defending themselves from viruses forever.
So what is CRISPR-Cas really? Well, put simply, it's a super clever immune system that bacteria have. Think of it like a genetic most wanted list. When a virus attacks, the bacteria grabs a little snippet of the virus's DNA and stores it. It's basically creating a genetic memory so it can recognize and destroy that same virus if it ever shows up again.
And this whole system works in 3 beautifully simple steps. First up is adaptation. That's where the bacterium captures that piece of viral DNA. Then comes expression, where it uses that stored DNA to build a little guide molecule. And finally, you get interference. The bacterium uses that guide to hunt down the virus and, well, chop it to pieces. It's incredibly elegant and just brutally effective.
So, you might be wondering, how in the world did scientists look at that and figure out how to turn it into a world-changing tool? Well, that's where we get to the part about harnessing these incredible molecular scissors. Meet the star of the show, an enzyme called Cas9. The best way to think about it is as a pair of molecular scissors. But these are unbelievably precise. They can be programmed to go into a massive strand of DNA and make a clean cut on both strands at one very specific spot.
But you know, a pair of scissors is pretty useless if you don't know where to cut, right? That's where the guide RNA comes in. This is a synthetic molecule that scientists create, and it acts like a biological GPS. It literally tells the Cas9 scissors, cut here, leading them directly to the target sequence. It's what makes the whole system so precise.
Okay, so cutting DNA is one thing, but what if you don't want to just break a gene? What if you want to fix it? What if you want to rewrite it? This is where the technology has evolved to a whole new level of precision.
And this analogy really explains it perfectly. Think of the original CRISPR-Cas9 as scissors. It makes that cut across both strands of DNA, which is fantastic if you want to just shut a gene off. But it can sometimes be a little messy, a little prone to errors. The newer methods, base and prime editing, they're more like pencils with erasers. Instead of a full cut, they just make a tiny nick on one strand and then directly rewrite a single genetic letter. It's way more precise with a much lower chance of mistakes.
Prime editing, in particular, is just a huge leap forward. It can do pretty much any kind of single-letter swap you need, and it can even insert or delete small chunks of code. And the key thing is, it does all this without making that risky double-strand break in the DNA. The level of control is just phenomenal.
Of course, with this kind of incredible power comes a massive responsibility. You can't talk about editing genes without talking about the safety challenge and all the work being done to avoid any unintended consequences.
The biggest worry, the thing that keeps scientists up at night, is something called off-target effects. This is when the CRISPR system messes up and cuts the DNA in the wrong place. And these mistakes could be really, really dangerous. You could accidentally turn off a healthy gene or, in the absolute worst-case scenario, trigger a change that could lead to something like cancer. So to prevent that from ever happening, researchers have developed this really smart three-pronged safety strategy. First, they designed that guide RNA to be incredibly specific, kind of like a key that only fits one single lock in the entire genome. Second, they've engineered high-fidelity versions of the Cas9 enzyme that are way more cautious and double-check their work before they cut. And finally, they're constantly improving how they deliver the CRISPR system into the body to make sure it only goes where it's supposed to and nowhere else.
And all this power, it brings us to the most profound questions of all. This technology puts humanity at a major ethical crossroads. We have the power to heal, but with that comes the temptation to enhance.
This really frames the central debate perfectly. On one side, you've got therapy, using CRISPR to cure devastating genetic diseases like sickle cell anemia or cystic fibrosis. I mean, truly life-changing stuff. But on the other side, you have enhancement, the idea of making non-medical changes, maybe creating certain desired traits. And that's where things get really complicated.
The absolute core of the controversy is this: germline editing. We're talking about making changes to eggs, sperm, or embryos. And the reason this is such a big deal is because those changes would be heritable. They would be passed down to every single future generation, forever altering the human gene pool, all without their consent. It's a heavy, heavy concept. Now, because the stakes are so incredibly high, this isn't the Wild West. Major global bodies like the FDA here in the States, the EMA in Europe, and the World Health Organization, they've all stepped in. They've put out very strict guidelines, and the global consensus right now is crystal clear. Let's prioritize using this for therapy in regular body cells, and for now, reproductive germline editing is off limits.
Which leaves us, all of us, with the ultimate question. For the first time in history, we have the ability to edit our own blueprint, the very code that makes us human. And now, the challenge for our entire generation and the ones that follow is to decide, where do we draw the line?
If you have watched till here, don't forget to subscribe to Family of Science Lovers. Press the bell icon button so you are always updated. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon button. Thank you.